Hello and welcome back to Operations with Void. This is your host, Forgotten Void, and this week I will be going through a replay for a battle I did about 36 hours, 36 hours ago from this recording, so less than 48 hours from when this video pops up on YouTube. Anyways, as you can see, I'm in a division with Untamed as the fun player, nice guy to talk to, also from Asia. So we're showcasing the Roma, which a couple weeks ago I was showcasing it, so I'm not going to go over about the ship because you can just go watch that video. Here's a link to that video. It's a Raptor rescue. This week we are going to be showcasing Aegis and what to do when your team fails you and how to carry. So the route we're actually going to take is really good for armored battleships like the Roma, any Russian battleship, any German battleship. We first start off by shooting at the Fuso because it's spotted from the moon, so why not? And hey, we get 5k. Nice hit for just a Hail Mary shot. So the first thing you do is you turn right, doesn't matter your position, you go through the convoy or behind the convoy and you go south of this island. If you're looking to the, here, let's see, yeah, I'm just going to go south in this direction. In fact, you go this direction up here, and if your team survives, then you push up this way. If your team does not survive, you push up, sit around here, wait for your transports to catch up, and then you push up in covering your transports. And the reason being is if you get too close to the enemy, they actually stop shooting at you and just focus on the transports. And you don't want that. You want them to focus on you if your team doesn't survive. But, I'll show that later. So a nice 10k salvo onto the Mutsu. The Mutsu and the Fuso, it's nice because you can overmatch the bow with these 380s. Yes, we're in a tier 8 battleship. You only get 380s. Just like the Germans that aren't battle cruisers. So we're using the island as cover because, as I mentioned, you want to be the shield at the end. And to be the shield at the end, you have to survive the beginning. You have to not be shot at much. You have to not be the focus. In this case, what you're actually supposed to do is let the Fletcher take the damage and be the spotter while everybody else... Swap the HE for this. So I didn't think the Cataluna would actually get the Agazuki, and I fired on reflex anyways. Battleships disappear, so even if we were loaded with armor piercing, we wouldn't be able to shoot at them. It's going to take that long. Cataluna has a death wish. He's charging the enemy cruisers. Already charged the battleships. Now he's at 8k. He's charging the 5 cruisers that will melt him away. Just like the Miyoko charged ahead. You don't charge ahead. If you are in a heavy cruiser, you sit at the back of the smoke screen until the smoke screen goes away, and then you go through. We're going for the Mutsu here because it's closer and it's easier to hit the Citadel, and as you can see, it was devastatingly effective. And now it's pretty much dead. Either the Shores is going to torp it or it's going to be shot to death. There, and the Shores torped it. So as you see, we're instead of turning left in like we would with the we did with a squishier battleship like the what's that? Not the Alsace, but the French battleship that I was Richelieu. Yeah. Oh, there goes the Maya, throwing away his ship too. Those cruisers, they're mean. So mean. Back when there were Kumas there, you could actually tank a bit and get non-pens from them. But now that they're all heavy cruisers, yeah, that is just damage. Probably the only ship that could go up there and not be melted very quickly is a broadside Vladivostok. I say broadside because that's where all their armor is. If it's bow on, the 32 Bell is huge and you're going to take all the damage through the bow. And so the hots are harder here. It's nice torping them, but that's not actually where you want to be. Now, if you go, I'm going to put this video up. This first video is a video that of my ship, of a run with a torpedo destroyer, replayed and commented by a guy who likes to play, likes to comment and show replays of other people doing ops. If you want to replay your own op, see him, send him a video. But if you want to see someone who's describing their own thoughts and why they're doing things and why ops are run, that is what my channel is for. So they're both for different reasons. Now hots are hotter. See that? See that shores? Just go a little bit north. Just see, we're requesting your support. We want you to go pick up the shores. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. It's even within your smoke. You can do it. Or you could just go up to the front of your smoke and not do it. Yeah. Okay. And then you can torp the bow on cruiser. Not even one that's at an angle. No, the one directly to your bow where you're only going to hit one torpedo at max. Oh, and now you're going to exit your smoke screen. Firing so you can spot. Okay. You must be a new player and not know the mechanics. I know you want to shoot. I know you want to do that. But when you get 3 well done in a row, anybody who you are, 3 well done in a row is not a way to... That's sarcasm. It means you're doing something wrong. Instead of going and picking up shores, you went everywhere but the shores. And so our ally, my div mate, Untamed, has nobly volunteered himself to basically get sacrificed and get in there to pick up shores and while the Hatsuharu gets focused down, even though he could have been stealthy. So here's another video that I did. That's another way of how to pick up and play a destroyer. So now you have 2 destroyer videos from 2 different people's commenting on how to play a destroyer in Aegis. And you should really do that and not go in the center. In the center in a destroyer is how you die. If you're in the center, you should be in a cruiser or something that can hide behind and sneakily just delete cruisers like that. Untamed is being in the center because he has no choice and had to sacrifice himself. So you either sacrifice yourself for shores or tanking. In this case, I'm trying to tank. I'm trying to delete things. Here I am, one-shotting cruisers. But it's not enough to save Untamed, leaving just me and a carrier. At least I take out that cruiser before it sees and starts taking out our carrier, so I have some support. Although it's a tier 6 carrier, and the AA here and whatnot, it's basically useless. And as you can see, like I'm not even aiming at the Alba. That's because I'm not planning on killing it, not planning on shooting it for a little bit. I'm waiting for it. I'm not waiting for the Alba itself, but I'm actually waiting for the transports to come further south so that they're protected by the islands as they go to the exit point. And also, the Alba shooting armor piercing is not even doing damage to me. My secondary is also not really doing damage to it either. And I knew at this angle, I could just delete the Alba because I overmatched the nose. And if I overmatch the nose, the shells go straight into the citadel. Even if they didn't go straight into the citadel, overmatching the nose would result in full penetrations, and I would only need 3 full penetrations or less to delete the Alba at the health it was. Which, even with Italian accuracy at that range, is, I say Italian accuracy, but Roma's been really good to me for the last 2 games I brought her out. I was doing this for the, what's the personal challenges, just running an Italian battleship, and it's a premium. But when I first got Roma, got her out of the Santa crate, when I first got her, and the first few games, my shells were just going everywhere, car washing anything I shot at. And so I really didn't like her. I had a very terrible first impression with her. But now she's doing well. It's like Corsilio, Crappuccino, everybody calls her. I had a very bad first impression. And then you had tier 7 only ranked. And everybody was bringing out their Scharnhorst and the Gneisenau and their brawling German battleships and battle cruisers. Basically, the things that had a turtle back and couldn't be citadeled. And then you take out the Crappuccino, Carcelio, and you use sap, and you take away half their HP with a sap full pen on their broadside. And that's how I actually started to like it. But Roma, the only reason I like it is starting to like it is because it's been doing well. But for the most part, it's still haven't got to the point where I like the ship yet. Not really a fan of Italian ships yet. Other than Napoli. I do somewhat enjoy Napoli. Big guns, smoke and secondaries, and gimmicks. It's nice. But Roma's gimmick is it has HE as an Italian battleship. And here's actually where I'm thinking, I wish I had full speed smoke so I could smoke in the first transport, but I don't get that Italian battleship gimmick. So when you're using smoke, it's not usually for you, or it's to run away and be undetected while you're running away, because the smoke screen firing penalty is that bad. But here we're actually just going to be the living shield. And so as I mentioned, you want to be on full health, you want to have everything. It's because at this point, right here, from now on, is where you are going to get shot at. You're going to shoot back and you're going to get shot at. And so I'm putting the island between me and the Amagi, because the Amagi can and will citadel and delete the Roma. I don't mind the cruisers and the HE spam. I don't mind burning. I do mind spontaneously being deleted by 410 millimeter guns. So now that the transports are right next to me, and I have a double fire, I'm going to go and put out the double fire. Now the transports are next to me, I'm going to move out, especially with the one transport being out front. And I'm not even going to focus on the Amagi or even touch it, because the Kabi is the biggest threat. If you notice, the Kabi, and others, they all start with Ka. Each wave in Aegis actually starts with has a theme. So you have all of the Kabi, Kabu, and Kado, they all start with Ka. And then you have Yushi, Senshi, and Kosotsu. They're the 3 warriors, because Shi and Sotsu, that is actually the character for warrior in Japanese. You have the other ships and the other waves. They all start with the same first syllable in Japanese. In Japanese, it's actually a letter. Like you have the Nagato, that's Mari over there. And that means all the others in that wave will start with Ma. in Japanese, if it's a consonant, it's always followed by a vowel unless it's N. N is the only one that, and that's at the end. And so there we go. Since we didn't kill any of the battleships, but none of our transports died, we ended up with a 4-star, thanks to Untamed sacrificing himself. So you see I got 7 kills and 12 citadels, which surprises me because I don't expect that much for the Roma. And that got us first place because we sat there and we were killing stuff and doing work while 3 of our cruisers threw themselves away. Cataluna was lucky enough to get 2 kills with that 1 torpedo launch before going and dying. The Miyoko and the Maya, I don't even think they got any torpedoes off. Ryujo, tier 6 carrier. I can't fault him. Tier 6 carrier, you don't do that. You just don't. You're supposed to, well, there's no you're supposed to. The ops is actually fucking over tier 6 ships, especially tier 6 carriers. Like, tier 6 carriers just can't compete with anything else. Like, other tier 6 ships, you go look at my other tier 6 runs, you could do well in a tier 6 ship in ops. You take out a tier 6 carrier, you're doing shit. Like, they used to be really good. You used to want a tier 6 carrier, especially for Killer Whale and for Aegis. It was good. Killer Whale, it was good. For what was the other one? Yeah. It used to be good. Now it's crap. You don't want a tier 6 carrier anymore. Any other tier 6 other than, like, the Hatsuharu does better, and it could have done a lot better than what it did if it had gone the correct route. But it did what it could do because it has the stealth, it has the torpedoes. Even a tier 6 cruiser could actually do well. So as you can see on the ships, you have convoy ship because that's a very creative name for convoy ships. You have Kabi, you have Fugi, you have Dani. So the first wave, you have all starts with Da, Dani, Daki, Dami. The second wave, Fugo, Fugu, Fugi. Some of them mean things, and that's by coincidence rather than actually giving them a name. Like Fugu is the pufferfish. Daki is hug. Like Dami doesn't really mean anything. Dani is a kind of lice. Fugi doesn't really mean anything. Kabi means mold. Like, these are actually, they only mean things because of there were only so many syllable combinations in Japanese. Whereas the 3 warriors, the 3 battleships that show up, those are actually intentionally named and actually mean something. There, a little bit of trivia about Aegis. And we used greens, and so this is what we came up with. So if you like this video and you want more, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. If you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. Speaking of more videos, I have next week's video. It's for Cherry Blossom already lined up. But the following week, for Newport, I would really enjoy and really like if someone gave me a comment or something, some direction, something they want to see in Newport, so I know what kind of video to post. If you want to name a specific ship or just a ship type that you want to see go through Newport, please let me know and I'll do my best to put that video up. Because at this moment, I have no idea what I'm going to do for Newport, and your input means the world to me. So with that, I hope to see you again next week. Have a good one.